7 o'clock, let's call the meeting to order. Brian's not here tonight. I'll do the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andrew, roll call, please.
Chapman.
Here.
Drake.
Here.
Pop.
Here.
Hines.
Here.
Patton's excused. Ring.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
All right, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 9, or excuse me, March 9,
For the agenda.
on the agenda of March 9, 2022.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 9, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comment.
Well, I just stopped in to say hello and to make myself available. If there's, just curious if you guys have heard any comments, any concerns with us being open for the few months. I've been really pleased. The demographic is who I anticipated it would. Over 50% are over the age of 50. Not necessarily looking to get high. It's pretty cool. I just had like 3 couples come in back to back this afternoon. Just looking for relaxation. So it's been pretty neat. And we've heard nothing but great comments, but I wanted to, just make myself available to the board. If there's anything you'd like to address, if you've heard any concerns, I'm here. I'd love to hear anything that you might have that we can do better.
Don't ever ask for anything, Kelly.
I know,
Okay,
and I'll get
but
it.
since
right?
you did. There was some older people wondering if maybe you could get people to park in your side lot more than in front of the post office.
Oh,
And I know it's a
Yeah.
public street and you have the
Yeah.
right. I'm just,
yeah.
that's the only thing that I've heard is that the parking at the post office, they walk in, they think, oh man, the post office is busy and there's no one there.
Right, yeah.
And they're old, old people have reason to complain about everything because I'm to
Sure.
that point myself.
Sure.
So it's just a thought. I don't know if there's anything you can do to fix it,
Yeah.
but
thank you.
if you asked, I would have never said anything,
No,
but you asked.
that's why I called, so thank you for that. Yeah, Bill?
While we're on it, I had 2 people that asked me why we aren't cleaning the ice off between your building and the
In front of the barber
grocery
shop?
store. Yeah.
Yeah, it got pretty bad, so I know that's something I need to address. Thank you for bringing that up, and I'll address it promptly. Yeah, thank you. Anything else?
I've heard nothing but good
Okay.
things. People come into the store either after they've gone to your shop or before. And
Yeah.
they're excited and they buy things, and I like that.
Awesome.
It's good.
Thank you.
Munchies, candy counter.
I started carrying more high-end snack foods. So,
That's
All right.
fantastic. Yeah, and to give you an idea, where sales are at right now, they're, it's not as good as what I thought it would be, but for the first couple of months in the dead of winter, it's, better than I really honestly could have expected. So we're seeing people drive from Petoskey, Traverse City, all over. A lot of them have been hearing and following my story. I'm taking as much press as I possibly can. There's going to be more press coming out in the upcoming month. It will become public knowledge, so I'm happy to let you know that I purchased property in Mansalona Township. I've been awarded permits for dispensary, for grow, and for processing, so that's where my farm will be. With the dispensary, I'm able to carry on the spirit of what I wanted to start here, which was an education and wellness center. And so I'm pretty excited because the two of them working together helps drive the name, helps drive the brand, helps drive the story, which drives people to the brand. So while I'm not a millionaire, it's going to take a while to build. I'm really excited that I have those permits awarded to me, and I'm working through the general contracting of getting all of that done now. So that'll hit the public press just before 4/20.
Just before 4/20.
Yep.
Okay.
First, the interim review will I think, probably run the story first. I wanted to give them a chance before it's highlighted in the Northern Express again. So then it'll reach,
That's
all
on
of the-
4/20/2022.
Yeah,
Right.
4/20 is kind of like a stoner holiday, so, yeah. Yeah, it is. It
I
is.
understand.
Yeah,
And
there's a day
there's
off.
lots of reasons,
It's
but
like your
it's still like
terminology.
Monty Python's myth of what it really means, but yeah.
All right, thank you, Kelly.
Mhm.
Anybody
Thanks
else,
for your
public
comments.
comment?
Oh, okay, yeah, I got one.
Sure,
quick
go.
comment. I don't know how you want to handle it, but we should disseminate the information to the public and to us, of course, that if you're sick or you're just getting over your cold or whatever, to just stay home, because we'll take care of the business here. And then also if the public, somebody from the public like you were sick or something, just get the comments to Rob and then we'll take care of it in the meeting or whatever. So it just, I'm kind of aware of it a little more than I used to be because my wife has cancer and I'm just trying to kind of protect her, although she's out in the public and so on. But, just be a courtesy thing. I don't know, can you put that on the website or something or to
We
something
can put
about
anything
if
on
you're
the
sick, stay home?
Yeah, we can draft some
Just a
verbiage for that, sure.
suggestion. It's just a thought,
A courtesy type thing, absolutely.
Because sometimes people don't stop to think, oh, I got a cold,
Yeah.
they shouldn't come. But if they got a cold, just stay home. We'll be okay here.
Are you sure?
Well, I admit I've been places with a cold that I shouldn't have been, but
I mean, we all have, yeah.
Now the worst part of the cold, if you've been boosted and all that, you could have COVID and think it's cold. Because people had a buddy that was sick, just had the sniffles and it was COVID.
and my cousin had COVID and he never knew it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Okay,
All right, thank
that's
you.
all I got.
Anybody else, public comment? All right, I'm closing public comment. Number 7, reports. Scott is attending the Central Lake Bel Air District game. I think it's a good spot for him to be tonight. Before you is a Central Lake summary of the events of the month. And if you have any questions, you can ask Bill. Any questions for Bill? All right, we'll move on. DPW, Sam.
Everybody should have a copy of that report. Any questions on it? Well, the only thing I'd like to follow up on is, last month I talked about, intermediate bridge, work being done. The, hydraulic analysis naturally is not done yet from the county, so that's what we're still waiting on.
When do they anticipate having it
They
done?
anticipated it a month ago,
Oh,
having it
okay.
done. But I was told it's $210,000 over budget, which is to be expected. And they're waiting on the final paperwork to get to Mark Stone, the drain commissioner. So that's what we're waiting on for the construction of the bridge. Yes, Mr. Tyler.
Have we heard anything on the M88 paving? Like who got it
And
and,
Dot was going to email Andrew and me both with a public meeting that Andrew and myself will attend.
all right, so,
And at that point, I'll be able to give you guys more information.
all right, so still nothing.
Yep.
So still nothing on the July 29 Bachman's road closure.
Big party.
Yes, Bill.
And
Remember I talked to you about the street light wasn't working right at Walt Russell's
It's
there?
been replaced.
I know, and I was just gonna comment on that.
Yep, that one's been replaced. You'll see on my report, we put down 4 streetlights have been reported,
They,
and that's what that means. Them are the lights we can't repair
well, they
ourselves.
replaced that,
Consumers owns them.
they replaced that one.
They replace it with LEDs now.
Yes, they did.
Everything, about 65%, Andrew, of the village is LED lights now.
Good.
So we're slowly but surely getting there.
So they must have found out it was.
We reported it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I finally went through and it went off and come right back on in front of me. So
Yeah.
then we report it. We don't report them unless somebody calls us or we drive under them and they go out.
And one additional item for the M88 repair is that affects the gardening, so
Yeah,
we'll be
Yeah.
interested in that.
yeah. The whole town's interested. Whole town's interested.
Speaking of the M88 repair, I don't know when the sidewalk, the stamped sidewalks are blowing up all over town.
I would recommend that the sidewalk committee get together, which we did last time. How much of that red dye do we want to pull up? Get it pulled up, make sure it's enough for a load like we did, what was it, 2-3 years ago? Where you're putting down 6, 8, 10 yards of cement because you gotta pay. If you put red back in, you gotta pay an additional fee to get the red put in, then you gotta get an additional fee for the washout to clean the truck up. So make it enough to where it's worth it to replace a good long strip of it.
Do we feel like we need to put red back in?
That's what we put back in, but we don't stamp it no more. We just put it down as red concrete and smooth it off.
It looks nice.
And we just leave it that color, and what we have found out is it doesn't pop nearly as bad.
Yeah, stamped concrete with salt, doesn't
Yep,
work.
doesn't work, correct. So I would recommend the sidewalk committee get together and take a stroll and pick out a couple sections of town where it's the worst. And it won't take a whole lot to do the math at 18 inches wide, 4 inches deep to see how many feet, 7, 8 yards of
How
concrete.
much effort is it to break it up, Sam? How long?
The last time I did it, I think I broke out 100 foot in front of the grocery store in less than a day.
Okay.
I rented a jackhammer from Alden for that day and it popped so quick it is not, and it just chunks, throw it in the loader bucket all the way.
Good, okay.
So it comes out fairly easy.
I was
No
concerned.
wire in that or anything?
No, and we can do it if you guys want us to pour it in, because it's just red concrete, smooth it off and put visqueen on both sides so it don't go on the white and all it good.
Thank you.
So Mike, while we're on there,
I got it.
so you got it written down, Mike?
Yes, sir.
So then when the snow's gone, you guys can take a stroll and pick out the worst portions of it and then go from there?
Mhm.
All right. So,
I would recommend try to keep it together somewhat, so I don't have a cement truck driving all over town with red dye dripping and everything.
And they'll charge you for more stops too, or Bloom Street.
You know how it goes.
Every time you look at the cement truck, it costs money.
all right. Thank you, Sam.
And it's all gonna have to be done. All the stamped stuff is gonna have to be replaced.
No correspondence this month. Committee reports, streets, sidewalks and lights, Mike Ring.
All done reporting.
All right, and we just got the sidewalk thing straight and ready to go. Sewer and water, Ralph.
Well, I probably can wait and talk about it later.
Yeah.
Everything else is okay.
Communications, Kip.
Okay, I got a couple things. We had a meeting at the end of last month, talking about, different communication ways and the barriers to the communication. We're gonna send out a newsletter with the water bill and try to get some feedback on the best way to, communicate with the public. And give some things that are going on as well this summer. M88 project, just make people aware of things that are going on. So that's the synopsis of the meeting.
Well, I did a little bit of investigating with communication, public, with other municipalities and organizations. They all said there's no one good best way. So, which we already figured out.
Yeah, we figured that out, so it's.
It'll be an ongoing process.
Now, the next thing is, I guess we've had quite a few calls to Andrew about the water bill. I'll kind of go over this. Hopefully people might be able to see it, but the top line on this water bill is the past balance. The next line is the sewer. If you're connected to the sewer, you will have a price at the end of it. If not, then that'll be blank. And then the next line is the W for your water usage. And the total's down at the left. And then on this particular bill, there's a OV on there. That's outside the village. And there's a $15 fee on that, on the bottom line. On this one, you can see that there's the past balance, just a W for water usage, and then a outside village charge on it. On this particular bill is the PV on top for the past balance, and they just use water, and they're inside the village. And that's, if you got anything to add to that, Andrew, just.
Yeah, no, not that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just
I explained it all right?
People are confused.
Yeah.
about
So
this.
just, people are
Is it-
thinking that they have sewer, but they don't, they're not on the village sewer. Because there's only, not even 200 customers, 100,
169.
yeah, like around 170 customers on sewer out of our 600 water customers.
Is it
So-
new building or?
No, it's just because the sewer rates are going up and,
Been on Facebook and it's stirred up the town.
yeah, and so.
Is that why we're getting calls? Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Yeah, so less than a third of the people are on sewer. So like people, up on this side of town, they're not even close to the sewer.
I just thought of something, not that I have any idea.
What?
But like if the bill says Village of Central Lake, water and sewer, it doesn't say like water and sewer, like sometimes there's a heading what type of bill it is, that's not on there, it's just Village of Central Lake. So, I mean,
So,
if it said water and sewer, I would say, well, just take that line off, right, on future ones, but.
so we're looking at the next water bill, printing it on perforated paper and including our newsletter as part of the water bill, so it'll get read, because they'll be looking at their water bill. That would be a perfect place to explain to every single person what those codes mean. So we could have a printout of a sample water bill and, have a little legend of what everything means, and then they can tack it on their fridge for future reference. And also that will be a great opportunity
No, it's not.
for us to explain some of the, in simple, easy to digest terms, why our water bills and sewer bills have to go up, because we've almost been, the past decades, we haven't been negligent, but we have not been attentive to what our rates should be in order to prepare for the future. We've been, and we've been able to keep costs down. We have kept costs down. Well, now we've got to catch up. So maybe that will be and maybe every water bill, if this works, if we get good feedback, maybe every water bill we can have a little informational, reach out and touch someone kind of thing in there, maybe.
You have to raise it as the cost of living goes up.
Your new rate study has that figured in it automatically. If you guys approve it, it has a cost of living figured into it.
We got that on B, but I want to, so when does the next water bill go out?
End of April.
End of April.
So end of April, so we've got to start thinking as a board, can you hand me that, our little visual aid here. Do we want to do this and a letter, you know what I mean, of what's happening, M88 paving, that sort of thing, right?
No,
I got it backwards?
so what, all right,
Michelle, why
so,
don't you show us?
so what we have here is a prototype that
Okay.
Andrew, because if we can think it and dream it, he can achieve it,
Okay,
and then we can become it.
all right.
So the water bill, all right, so the envelope says water bill enclosed.
All right,
So they're gonna read it, they're gonna open it, they're not just gonna throw it away
Absolutely.
like they would if we just sent out a village newsletter and then whatever.
yeah,
And so then this, they'll have like a handy dandy perforation at the top for their water bill
mhm,
to pay it. Then on the back will be, you know, what's the best way to contact you? Because when we've got to talk to the residents, we want to know how to get in touch. And so they're gonna put their contact information there so we can reach. Then we've got 2/3 of 2 sides of paper to put information, you know?
mhm.
We could have a copy of a sample, maybe smaller than real life or something like that, and then have it decoded for them, you
Mhm.
know, your official water bill decoder thing or something like that. We could have a little calendar of events. The idea is that take their water bill off, mail it in, then they take the rest of it and put it on their refrigerator.
Sure.
So, so even colorful paper might, you know, make it exciting or something like that.
Canary yellow or something.
Something like that, and then, you know, and then we can even say, you know,
Yep.
put this on your fridge for future reference, and so it's a start.
Coordinate with the chamber on what's going on with them.
Absolutely, yep, and it's a little thing about,
Hawkins, you know,
or, you know,
big
just,
party on the 29th of July, that sort of thing.
School closed.
Yeah,
Michelle volunteered to lick out the envelopes.
So-
no way. So, anyway, so that's kind of what the communications, with lots of help from Andrew about how this can actually happen.
mhm.
That's what the communications committee really looked at, is how to communicate with our people.
You're gonna appropriate each one of those.
Yeah. Thankfully, they sell free perforated paper.
It's amazing what you can buy these days.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
So we're changing format. Do we need to vote on this? Does anybody see any pitfalls to this?
How much more is it gonna cost?
What's the difference between a postcard and a letter?
A postcard stamps 40 cents, a letter stamp is 53 cents. So 13 cents in postage plus an envelope and a piece of paper.
So,
But actually the paper's cheaper than the postcards themselves, so it would just be the envelope. So 13 cents plus the envelope, so maybe 18 cents.
So let's call it 20 cents for.
20
sake of
cents for
math.
easy math, and we have
Yeah.
600 customers, so it'd be about $120.
Probably a good investment.
all right.
Yeah.
I think the return on that investment would be substantial.
I'd like to make a motion to change our format of billing from postcard to perforated paper with bill on top and community news below.
I second that. I
All
like
in
that.
favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, thank you, Kip.
We
Go on.
have this
Hmm?
here that you sent out. It's in regards to the comparable sewer rates.
Yep,
And have you received comments from the public about the sewer rates?
well, Andrew has, and that's the whole genesis of Kip's
Water.
little water billing.
Well, I found this to be helpful to me because I had no idea what the sewer rates were in other communities. And on another copy of this, which I forgot at home, I added up all of the sewer rates and divided by the number of municipalities. And we are below average on our rates, and that might be useful information for the public to get.
Put it in the
Put it
newsletter.
in, put it in the envelope.
Yeah.
I noticed Bel Air's is not there.
Yeah, Miller's there.
Yeah, it is. I saw it.
There, yeah. But you have to look at the amount in the last column, because that first column can be deceiving, because some people.
Well, let's hold off on that. Let's finish all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's
Get
not
out of
there.
here.
It's
And
like-
then, yeah, we're
I was just thinking
going,
in regards to the newsletter.
yeah,
And you know, communications, we're gonna be meeting again, and we can hash all this out to get it ready for the,
all right.
should be meal out.
Kip, anything else on communications?
No.
All right, Brian is not here. Michelle?
I don't have anything this month to report. Our busy season for parks and public property is coming up. We're tweaking the pavilion rental form just to specify which, we're gonna use it for all 3 pavilions and just to specify whether they're renting the new one, the little one, or the big one.
AEDs.
That's all I have.
Michelle?
Yeah.
We are in the process, we ordered new bathroom valves
Woo,
in the old bathrooms.
okay,
All the bathroom valves for the slot sinks,
okay,
all of them need to be replaced.
okay,
So
good.
I ordered 6 new ones from the local hardware,
great.
should be in tomorrow.
Woo-hoo.
Game plans next week, get them all installed, all new ones, because I wanna do them now while the water's still up to the building.
Yeah,
Sam, and I may be late on this, but, the doors on the big pavilion at the park.
Yep.
Were really rusty, looked like, do we need to replace
They
those?
need to, all them doors need to be replaced, they're all rusted through in the hinges, and keep in mind, they're steel frame doors, so they're cemented in. So you gotta get a contractor to come in, actually, we can pull them out for him, but you're gonna have to get them cemented back in. And how we pull them out is we take our cutoff saw that we cut water main off in the ground with, go down the inside and the outside of the frame and cut through it, take a sledgehammer and just start beating the hell out until they fall. Excuse my
Okay,
language.
so you can get them out, but you're not comfortable putting them back in?
I put one in down to the camping park and it lasted about 4 years, and then it started getting loose at the hinges, and then we finally called and had a contractor come put it in, and it's
Who is-
lasted 15 years.
Who is that guy? Do we still have that guy?
No, that gentleman has passed away, unfortunately, that did it for us. But we can find somebody that can do that. I don't think that's an issue.
Okay,
Your gentleman that did the concrete up here could do it.
good, I'll ask him then.
He knows how to put steel frame doors in, because he
Okay.
does block work, am I right?
Oh, he does block work,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he knows.
I don't
how
know
to-
what he's capable of, I'm
he's
not,
capable of anything.
He knows how to
He's
put them in,
super
he does block work.
he's
so
pretty smart.
He would actually do it all himself because he knows what he wants cut out to put new ones back in.
So we might need to look at some maintenance for that big pavilion.
And I believe.
Is there anything down there, Sam, I mean, I haven't went over it, I'm just in passing, I'm stupid. Is there anything else you see somewhere that needs special maintenance?
The bathrooms in the day park. If you guys are possibly thinking about replacing some doors, let's try to figure out a way to incorporate them bathrooms
Yeah,
into a project of either new bathrooms, single handicap ADA accessible
Yeah.
bathrooms like we have in the new pavilion,
yeah,
or eliminate it
Yep.
and get them out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bathrooms I've been here 32 years, the bathrooms were here long before me.
yeah, it's time.
So
Okay.
you're looking at bathrooms that are close to 50 years old, if I had to guess.
Is there anything else? I mean, we just got all kinds of money. so
Not
it's
in the pavilion itself, other than it needs a real nice paint job. The
Okay.
outside block work, because
Okay,
we've gotten graffiti on it.
okay, and you guys can paint or not?
I'm not gonna commit to that because I know how long it takes, and if I get, for the way Eagle keeps changing water, wastewater, we're spending more and more time on water or wastewater, and less time mowing grass and doing all the other commitments. I mean, I got an extra guy that's gonna help a whole bunch. Can it possibly get fit in? If we got time, we will. That's
Okay.
the best I can say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm gonna circle back to Bill and law enforcement.
I just wanted to announce that Scott had gotten a tribal grant, and it's for 2 AEDs
Great.
for the patrol cars, and one for the one that he has, he can get a battery for it, and use it in the building, the new building.
Nice.
Good.
All right. Let's see, here. President's report. Before you, you have the pictures of the old crawl space.
Yes.
We just got that email today. And you can see why we were bogged down in terms of the pictures, the before and after. It's incredible what Warmer Mornings does. So now we can get the plumber in there, then we get the plumber in there, then we get the electrical in there, and then things still really start to move along here. So that was the biggest hang up. That's where we're at on that. We had a planning commission meeting 2 weeks ago. We started the process for updating our master plan. It was a good meeting. Let's see, the next planning commission meeting is March 17th, excuse me, 5 PM.
St. Patrick's Day?
I know, trust me,
Where?
we don't know yet. Well, we don't know yet.
Tell me where. You
Everybody
guys
wants-
all owe me a beer.
There you go.
It'll be my birthday.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Only if
it will be
you stick
posted
around
on
and
the
drink
door.
them all.
Unfortunately enough, I probably would.
I've got a lot of compliments on snow removal in the downtown area. Sam, I want to thank you and everybody else on the DPW crew. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that. That's all I have for the president's report. So, let's see.
Way to go, President.
Thank you. Number 10, approval of the bills. Total approved $5,377.78. Can I get a motion to approve the
I'll
bill?
make that motion.
All right. Motion a second, okay.
Just a second, I have
Sure.
a question on page 5.
Yep.
Rob Tyler, check made out to the wrong person. So, new check was issued, was there a check subtracted somewhere for $30 also?
Yeah, so, for the fishing tournament, his house in, Ellsworth, they made it out to the village, but it's not the village's fishing tournament, so we deposited that check and then made a check out to Rob for
Oh, I see,
$30, yeah.
okay, all right.
Thank you.
And then, Central Lake Township tax payment was sent to the wrong location. So the village's tax payment was sent to the wrong,
No,
Like-
somebody sent their taxes to us, and then
Oh,
we
I
paid the
see.
township for that.
okay, all right,
Yeah, same thing, because,
Same thing, different check.
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
We waited for their check to clear before we, made out a check for the township.
Okay, all right, just wondering. Okay, I'm fine with it.
Roll call, please.
Chapman,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Ring,
Yes,
Tyler.
Thank you. New business, we don't have any new business. Action items, 12A, approved clerk to attend the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerk Training. Before you is the series of events that he'll be going to. You have any questions for Andrew at this time?
yeah, what all does this training involve? I mean, what do you learn there?
Like, like in what regard?
Are they focusing on something or?
Yeah, so the first 2 days, they call it a boot camp. They just kind of go over your daily duties and job.
Okay,
And then the next day, they have like, different courses you can choose from to take for the next, 2 days. And then the final day is, not really as applicable to me because it's for elections, but then they go over the election stuff.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Are you gonna
The
attend?
legislative update portion will be good, but the election portion is.
okay,
But it wouldn't hurt to attend the
No, it
elections,
wouldn't
just in
hurt,
case,
yeah.
because you don't know what's
Right,
going
exactly,
to happen
yeah.
tomorrow. So
Yeah.
it's good to be ready.
I'd make a motion to send Andrew to the summer camp.
Yeah, I think we should
Second.
send him twice.
I guess I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Go to your training session. Sewer rate increase, Ralph.
Well, because of Eagle worrying about the environment and our sewer not being up to capacity and working well, we have to make an addition to our drain field, basically. I'm gonna call it a drain field. To do that, we needed money, and we were lucky enough to get a grant approved by the USDA to help us do that. In that grant, they come to you and tell you basically what it's gonna cost to maintain this system after paying for it and what it costs to do that. That amount, they feel at this time is $39.80. What they suggest is an annual increase of 3%, but that is supposed to mimic the cost of inflation, which I would rather, if it was up to me, I'd make a motion to have it match inflation instead of 3% every year. It's the original $39.80. We don't have a choice. We have to go $39.80 or higher to get the grant. So that's why we're coming with $39.80 for the monthly cost.
Because they're not gonna give us the grant if we can't sustain the work.
Right.
So,
Okay.
So it leaves us with absolutely, unless we want to raise it higher and give us a cushion later on. But I think because we kept it so low for so long, even though we're going to be at the bottom of average comparable to locals, and when you look at the numbers, you also have to, a lot of them, when you look at our averages from other communities, a lot of them charge more when they're using more water. They add to the sewer bill. And we're not doing that at this point. We're staying with just a flat monthly charge. So we have a lot better deal than most other communities at the $39.80.
because it does make sense, if they're using more water, they're using the sewer more,
Right.
right? So,
Most cities' consumption of water is consumption of wastewater.
okay.
It's real simple.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the monetary amount is, well, it's absolutely the bottom of what we can charge to get the grant. So, the only thing in my mind, we could go higher, which no one wants to do that if they can help it. But I would like to see it match inflation, instead of the 3%.
So what should it look like, 42 or 45?
I think it should look like $39.80 this year, but next year inflation is probably gonna be 7-8% with what's going on right now. So I think next year it should go up that amount to match inflation. Whatever the federal government says our annual inflation was, I would like the rate to match the inflation rate.
But again, that would be trying to catch up with the inflation that we've already suffered.
I agree, but I don't know, and I mean, we could do it on a quarterly thing with the inflation. Andrew, what is your suggestion? You know more about how that would work.
Yeah, I think the annual, because our budget is always chasing too, so
Okay.
I think the annual, because we'll do it in this time of year, right after we set, we'll set the budget, knowing the inflation figures and everything, so. Because quarterly, we won't have, for the township, we pull it for the fire department, because we charge Echo, so we just pull January's inflation numbers and do that, so that it's a good year, it covers January to December, and then you get that look back, so.
So that's what I would like to see.
Is that, just out of curiosity, is that what's holding up the funding for the grant or?
No, the government's holding up that, everything moves slowly.
Well,
What's
okay.
holding, what's holding up the funding is back in 1986 when they put the wastewater system in. Somebody through the USDA or through the Village of Central Lake never got some proper easements to put the lines on people's property. So now they gotta go back through and chase everything back to 1986. So that's what's holding it up. Soon as that is gone through and all them easements are proven to be deeded, the funding will be here.
And we have all but one done now.
All but one done, there you
And
go.
that's on the drain
So-
field.
And that's all we're waiting on.
Where's the drain field?
Behind, the subdivision
Oh,
in Laundromat, we own 17 acres up in there. Half of that is the old drain field, so we still got 8.5 acres to work on. And that's where all the new fields will be, is in that additional 8.5 acres.
cool.
Now, that's gonna be an addition to the field, right, Sam? We're still gonna use the old one?
Nope, the old fields are done. What they're gonna do is set them aside and let them dry up. Go back in 10 years, pull potholes and see if they have actually dried up or not. The problem is right now, they're so saturated, they just don't dry up. That's reality. They pond, they're all over the top. So in 10 years, if they go in and pothole them out, let's say 10 test holes in one drain field, because they're huge drain fields, you gotta keep that in mind. And if them drain fields are dry enough, you'll still be able to go back and use that if one of these new fields, something was to happen to it. So you'll be able to pipe it out to this one and still utilize your old fields for a certain period. But they're 40-year-old drain fields that are wore out, people.
They do
that's
wear
all it
out,
is.
you know, everything's wearing out at the same time.
You know, when we dig it up, the pea stone that big around is now that big around because it's got so much crud all the way around it. They're just wore out. That's what makes drain fields go bad.
Bel Air had to update their system to Lagoon not too long ago. Ellsworth is updating their system. Everybody on this list, if they're artificially low, will be in the process or will be forced to update their sewer system.
We're one of the lucky ones because we can still put ours underground,
Mhm.
our waste. Where you go down to Bel Air, I mean, I hate to say the terminology, but they squeeze turds. Mister, when you get that, a very expensive wastewater bill.
So I'd like to make a motion to raise sewer rates, with an inflation.
Factoring inflation. or-
Yeah, that's fine.
That is fine, Blake will approve it that way.
Yeah, he just wants a minimum 39.80.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna take out the increase of 3% and increase at the rate of inflation.
Please.
Okay.
In the motion I'm asking for. Doesn't mean that's the way it'll go.
Should we say like what is it they suggest, 3.9%?
3% or the rate
Or
Or the rate of inflation, whichever is
greater.
greater?
Andrew, help us out.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. And Blake will be okay, Blake from USDA?
He just cares about the 39.80.
39.80, Blake will be
The
okay.
increases that cover ourselves, so we're not jumping $20 a month in 10 years again, you know?
Yep.
It's just really to keep on top of it, so.
All right.
He just wants the 39.80 and the increases to keep us so we're not chasing our tail again.
Well, that way they're automatic. I mean, they're
Right,
not,
exactly.
it's just what has to happen.
Or you could say no less than 3%,
So,
Yeah,
or the cost of inflation.
You got that, Rob?
Can you word that?
I'd like to say 3% or the rate of inflation, whichever is greater.
Yes.
That's what he said.
all right, perfect.
Beautiful.
Second.
All right. We're raising some rates here, so let's do a roll call. Oh, as soon as Andrew gets done, we'll do a roll call.
all right, sorry.
No, take your time.
No, hurry up.
Chapman,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Motion carries.
One additional thing that I think we should do is to have some sort of explanation in the newsletter as to why the sewer rates are raised.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, well, it's basically beyond our control, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And just explain real briefly in a few sentences why.
Maybe even with an
Might need 2
infographic.
pieces of paper by the time.
Oh, we'll put it in tiny.
You can have one extra.
Oh, I get an extra piece. That's good.
All right, thank you all. Approved premium pay for the clerk. When the American Rescue Plan Act came about, they allowed for premium pay for some workers, one of which would have been Andrew. And before you, I have the breakdown of how we came up with that total of $2,000. Andrew's been an integral part of the day-to-day operations in the village. As you can see here tonight, I mean, he's done so much above and beyond his scope of duties. I mean, everything from going over the sewer rate increase and making sure it's communicated adequately, to putting us on Zoom meetings. And I feel very strongly that this is warranted at this time.
I agree.
So I'd like to make a motion for Andrew to get a $2,000 premium pay using the American Rescue Plan Act money.
Support.
Did you second it?
No, he supported it.
Okay. We do
I
a roll
would
call.
though, I would have.
Okay, roll call, please.
Chapman,
Yes.
Drake,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes. Thank you all very much for that. I really appreciate that.
So what are you gonna do for the rest of your employees?
That's a good question, Sam, and
Why is one employee different than the other employees? Can I ask that?
that's a good question, thank you. How is he not, he's different because he has been instrumental in moving things along and helping this village out to a point where I've never seen a streamlining of a village so quickly in such little time. And I don't think we could replace him.
I'm not talking about replacing him. I think Andrew does a bang up job for the village of Central
Certainly.
Lake. He's the best thing that's happened to the village. But you have 3 other employees
Certainly.
that have worked through the exact same situation.
I agree.
And you want to tell them 3 other employees, I'm sorry, but you're not worth, well, I can't count John because he hasn't been here long enough.
Mhm.
That's why I'm not counting him, Bill. Now, put yourself in my shoes, how I feel.
Certainly.
I just feel like you guys just took a knife, stuck it right through my back, and you walked away from it.
Well,
And my 2 guys
I'm not gonna,
that keep your village running.
I'll talk in generalities at this point, because I don't want to get into your compensation that we restructured last fall.
No, that was a deal you guys made with me, is my situation was.
Sam, let me ask you, because the reason my mentality of it was Andrew had to do a lot in the office, COVID related. How much did you guys do? I'm asking a question. Don't get all heated now.
Well, every day when I had to pull a sewer pump, what did they find out with COVID? They found out with COVID, as they went through and started sampling all the wastewater, that COVID was part of wastewater. We deal with it every day when I got a claim down in the lift station. I had to suck it into my lungs every day. I had to go out and meet with the public every day. The governor told us, you cannot shut a water off. That water will be on. So when people called to get water turned on, we were the first ones to go up and turn the waters on. We didn't have a choice. The governor mandated it. So I just can't see how one employee can be more important. And it's only because of the rescue funds that unfortunately it got brought into it. I was hoping it would have never got brought into it and you guys were gonna utilize that money for something that worked for the whole community.
And I think what he has done has been, if you want to use your word, the whole community, he's put us online. I mean, he is streamlined everything. And to circle back to the ARP money, they have very tight parameters as to how you can allocate funds.
Which the Department of Public Works was covered.
Okay, I'll look further into that, but at this point in time, from what I have read and what I have tried to ad nauseum, looking to have to find a way to compensate with ARP funds the other individuals.
It's your guys' choice.
So,
I'm just telling you how you're making 3 other people feel now.
okay,
Because when I tell my 2 guys, I can tell you how they're gonna feel. And you can imagine how they're gonna feel.
I don't think, so the American Rescue Funds have not, I mean, it seems like every week there's like a different set of guidelines. And I know that last year in the public school system, some teachers got bonuses but the aides didn't. But then later on, the aides got bonuses, but then the administration didn't. But then, and I think that as the money is released, which is part of the thing too, and then as the guidelines are revised, I wouldn't, I understand how you feel, but I don't think that the allocations are all over with yet, obviously. And so, so at this point, the clerk gets,
At this
A
point,
bonus.
you've proven what you're willing to do.
well,
You
not
just proved that by a 6-0 vote.
no, not
So you just told the
necessarily.
3 Department of Public Works guys, you're not worth the additional bonus that one employee in the village is worth.
No.
Yeah, oh yes, you
No.
did it. You did it in a vote.
No, wait.
I sat right here and heard it.
So I think by providing a bonus to an employee at this point of $2,000, is that taxable?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, it's not, there wasn't a vote to, it wasn't on the agenda, it's not on the action items to approve bonuses for the Department of Public Works. Had it been on the agenda and had we voted that down, then you would be accurate. I don't think you're accurate, and I think that if you just relax a little bit,
Just separated
How
in
much-
place.
just relax a little bit, because this is not over with. I mean, it's not, it's just, there's rescue funds that have to be used a certain way. Because Andrew's bonus was voted for tonight, it doesn't mean that you guys aren't gonna get a bonus. I mean, I know I'm not gonna get a bonus, but we hope that the people that are working hard for the village get recognized and get compensated as allowed. So, that's all I know.
How much money did we get in rescue fund?
86, what's our total? 86,000.
To be honest, I mean, I never thought of the wastewater thing and Sam dealing with COVID. I think dealing with wastewater in itself is a nasty situation. And I think it's nasty, good for you guys. If we got $86,000 and we
How much
can't,
have you used?
0.
I would make a I don't know if this is appropriate.
Let's do it in April's meeting.
Okay, all right. So put it on the agenda for
Put it on
April.
in April and we'll figure out a number.
Okay.
Because you can't just throw an arbitrary number. We had to go through and calculate
I
a
think-
13,
All sewer work would be.
yeah.
Rob, could you put it on another month? Because I won't be here in April.
Where are you gonna be?
I don't want to say, but you know.
May. We'll put it in May's
Thank you,
agenda.
Rob.
Yep.
And
Well, you don't
Ron,
have to.
Hang on,
be
one
here
person
to
at a
get
time.
it.
Hang on, Bill.
You don't have to be here to get
Hang on,
it.
that's okay. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
Oh.
No, I want to be here to defend myself and my guys.
There isn't gonna be any.
Why would you need to defend your guy?
No.
We'll see. I gotta stick up for my guys that work for me. So I would like to be at the meeting.
Fine,
That's all.
that-
Okay,
So you're
oh, sure.
Michael?
And we've talked some about this before.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't there some other money besides this rescue plan that's available that could be used for DPW employees?
We can look further into it. I'm not saying that
Guys,
this is.
we are one of the highest paid Department of Public Works in this county. I want you guys to know that. I'm not complaining about wages. It has absolutely nothing to do with the dollar bill, okay? I want everybody to be aware of that.
To me,
It just has more to do with, I feel you're not treating the employees the same.
I think
That's how I
you
feel.
make a good living wage. I think we underpay our employees. In my, straight up, I guess I have a right to say that.
Sure.
I think we underpay our employees. They gotta have a CDL, they gotta have a sewer certificate, they gotta have this, they gotta have that. You can't even hire a truck driver for what we pay this guy. Seriously, I mean, that's,
You can't, you really can't, because most of them are going over 20 an hour.
Yep.
For a truck driver.
so I mean, if we can find a way that doesn't cost the village any money to give you some money, I'm all in.
Andrew, I'm not upset at you. I want you to know that, okay? Because this
All right.
is the hell out of
Can we
me.
move on?
Ralph, even if it does cost the village some money, it might be worthwhile
Well,
investigating that.
Let's circle back. We have ARP monies. And it'll be up to people to determine the dollar value using ARP. It's not village money, it's ARP money.
Yeah.
Again, because I want the community to know, we're not taking general fund money,
Right.
all right? Because you're kind
Okay,
of going down a
I'll let
rabbit
you
hole. And,
Investigate that.
okay,
Say,
and please,
That's why I made my comment that we're one of the highest paid
Mhm.
DPWs around. This isn't counting money in the future. This is a one-time payment.
correct.
So everybody should remember that.
Mhm.
All right, we have closure on that. All right, thank you all. Old business. No old business. Public comment. Motion to adjourn.
Please.
All right, thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.